Hello and welcome to the 11 o'clock waffle.
Yay!
Hello.
Hello!
I'm Mac Forsyth. Joining me on the 15th show and the best of the questions from the past year is Alex Kay,
Hello.
Calum MacFarlane,
What up?
and Karla Smith.
Sup?
It's been a short while since we recorded the Christmas special.
Yeah.
Yep, it's been a while.
Apparently it was really good as well. I wasn't there, but you know.
It will be on
We had
YouTube.
Leberkuchen.
Fancy biscuits, always good.
It will be on YouTube soon to listen to.
Well, in fact, if you're listening to this, it is probably on YouTube now.
Indeed, because this is the only way you can listen to the 11 o'clock waffle now is via the Tube of You.
Tube of you and the World Wide Web.
Of course.
It's the way things go nowadays. The inter of net.
Oh, I should find my sound effect buttons.
You have sound effect buttons?
Yeah, he's got sound effect buttons.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, you haven't kind of gone down to those silly little radio shows that have like massive, silly sound effect buttons and all those kind of things.
We have this one.
Fair enough.
Cashback.
And of course, if Maya was on the show, we'd need this one a lot. So, shall we start the show?
I think we shall.
Yeah, go for it.
Definitely.
Question 1. By the way, just a few stats, because I've put the stats up on the line now.
Oh yeah.
Callum, you are making your debut on the show?
No, my second. This is my
but
second one.
the debut on it properly.
Oh, on the yeah.
Because we didn't have enough guests and
Yes, this is.
we
very
were
true.
just reading Den of Geek lists.
Yeah.
Awesome show.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
recorded though.
Oh no way.
I know.
Shame.
So, but if you want to know what we discussed on that show, just go read the Den of Geek lists.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
How to fill 2 hours, put some songs on, and just read Den of Geek.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I
an
listened
ideal
to that
show.
show. That was a decent show. I was agreeing with most of
You
it.
listening live?
I was indeed.
Oh, excellent.
Cool.
I don't know. It's a shame I missed that show. I would have liked it.
Yeah.
It's not my type of show.
I believe I was in the library trying to get on with some work and thinking, yeah, I'll listen to Mac. And yeah, it was a good show.
It was alright. It was good. It was good.
So we have Callum making his debut properly.
Indeed, yeah. Proper debut now.
Proper debut.
Yeah.
Official debut.
Official.
You'll be on the leaderboard.
Yay! Oh, good.
Leaderboard. Karla,
Woo!
making... You've been on quite a few times now.
Have I?
Yeah. Let's have a look at the stats.
Oh,
They're
okay.
all on Facebook now. If you go to Facebook and go on the 11 o'clock waffle on Radio Wave group, we're on there. We should really change the Radio Wave bit because we're no longer on Radio Wave. You will be making your 6th appearance today.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Wow.
6th appearance today. And you've
Woo.
yet to win.
I tied once and I'm doing well overall on leaderboard of actual points.
Average score of 56.5. It's tough to beat. Alex, although that's not taking into account the scores from last time because I haven't put those out. I've just done it from the first 13 shows. We'll do a few more before we update it. Alex, however, is the man to beat today. 2 appearances, 2 wins, 100% record.
Callum, put the gun down. Put the gun down. We're doing this properly.
No, it's just no.
We're doing it properly.
Oh, fine. I'll put it down.
Carla, put the
God.
knife away.
So,
I need to win, damn it.
you know, if you win today, this would put you 2nd on the leaderboard because you'd have a 100% record and overtake Lucy.
Oh gosh.
So, and Lucy,
Blimey.
yeah,
You'll have to explain this point system to me.
it's random.
Oh, it's just random points. Oh, okay then.
It's like a Douglas Adams novel. It's random.
If you go listen to a previous show with Emma on, she explains the point
Oh, okay.
system quite well. So, question 1. With the news that former Home Secretary Jackie Smith is to make a documentary about the porn industry entitled Porn Again,
Ooh.
what other documentary should people make? Alex, would you like to lead the way on this one?
I think people should just make documentaries about their lives. I don't know if you remember, there was a competition released in the summer of 2010 called A Day in the Life, where people had to document a single day in their life and send it off. I think it was a I think it was Ridley Scott or somebody, some very high-profile director was the judge of the competition. So I really think, and it was very insightful to see those documentaries about people's lives. I know that a very good friend of mine made a doco about her life, and they needn't be very long, like 10, 15 minutes max, I believe they were. And I will admit, I was about a year into my friendship of knowing this person, and, you know, I felt I knew her pretty well. I then watched her day in the life, and I just saw her in a completely new, different light, and it was just amazing. So I think if people make documentaries more like that, I think, you know, they're going to be good quality, because they just put somebody that you think you know, or a place you think you know, or an object you think you know, and completely refresh and revitalise it and put a new spin on it.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. I mean, it's one of those things where you take most of these things for granted, and then you shine a light on them, and you have a completely
it's amazing, because this chum of mine, she lives down here in Cornwall, and I live up country. So obviously during the summer, I don't really have any contact with her, or sadly many of my other friends who live in Cornwall. So literally, I mean, I didn't expect her to make it, and I was on YouTube, and then as I've subscribed to her channel, the video came up. And I thought, oh, she's put a video up for the Day in Life competition. Let's have a view. And, you know, and it was just a beautifully shot video. You know, it began quite light-hearted, got very serious in the middle, then went light-hearted again. And it just, you know, really opened my eyes up to what goes on, you know, in her home life, particularly in the summer, when I'm not there really to hear about it. So, you know, that, for me, you know, I think people should make more documentaries like that. You know, the world we live in, but the world we don't necessarily see. That's very deep.
It is very deep.
That's one of the deepest answers. It's up there with the Kim answers.
Well, that's Kim for you.
Yeah. Carla.
I kind of thought, not as deeply as Alex.
I don't think anybody did.
I think there should be more documentaries about kind of the kinds of jobs out there for people, because the amount of unemployment there is, I think there should be actual documentaries about what job life, you know, whether you go down this route or that route, in kind of inform everybody on what it's like to be there, in what it's like to be a student, in kind of documentaries about how to actually live. Because it's like stuff like mortgages and stuff that really you should be taught in school, but you're not. And then you kind of come out and you're kind of like, I'm not 100% sure what this is, but it's a fundamental. So they should do stuff like that. And
mortgage?
What is this mortgage you speak
Mortgage?
But yeah, just stuff like that, I think, personally.
I concur with that most heartily.
Calum, first answer on the show properly.
Well, I've kind of thought about this a little bit, but I kind of like those documentaries where they kind of show how things are made. You know, like I've gotten really into the series on BBC of how to build such a thing. Like I first watched the one with how to build a nuclear submarine, for instance. So I think there should be more documentaries like that. I mean, there are some out there, but I think there should be more documentaries about how to make things. I mean, you kind of take a lot of things for granted, like iPods, for instance. You know, you kind of have a look at these iPods and you think, how do they actually make these? How do they kind of write everything, write the programs? How do they put them together and all that kind of thing? And I think it's great to see the behind the scenes of things that you don't normally think about on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of the same thing as Karla was saying, where you kind of try and look into kind of all these things that you kind of should know about, but you don't. And then you kind of get this dose of documentary and you just think, okay, cool, that's how that works. Yeah. And then you kind of think a bit smarter because of that kind of knowledge injection, so to speak. I just think that would be really cool.
Most deep start to an 11 o'clock waffle ever.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Can I just remind you that when we had this question on the first ever show, James Miller's answer was Winston Churchill should make a documentary about the dangers of crumpets.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that show. I knew I'd answered that question. I was on the same show.
We've gone from dangers of crumpets to deep meaning documentaries.
Yeah, but then again, you just kind of have to think, well, that's James.
Yeah.
Can I just point out to Calum that there was an absolutely amazing show back in the day, which I believe was on CITV, called How. Which was amazing.
Brilliant. I used to watch How quite a lot, and it was brilliant. Absolutely great show.
I have to admit, and Mr. MacFarlane might disagree with me on this point, but I'm quite cross they've cancelled Doctor Who Confidential, because that show did give a good, heartful insight into how the makings of a programme is.
Ideas, though.
Yeah, you say that though, but in between the running out of ideas, you can't deny they did have some good insight into how
before they
drama.
Before they ran out of ideas, they had some good insight. When they were just videoing Arthur Darvill swimming with a shark. I've never swum with a shark. Well, let's just make 10 minutes of television out of it, Arthur. Matt, is there anything? I'm going to go shopping. Okay, what's the video of that? Karen, I've got this weirdo in my garden who keeps taking photos of me at night.
But I will admit though, I think there were bits of it though which were very insightful that showed how a TV program is made, because I think there is this general impression, particularly, again, I'm sorry, I'm going to go deep again, but in this day and age, a lot of the people do tend to think that actors and people who work in television do lead glamorous champagne-sipping lifestyles.
Oh, I hate that
but
viewpoint.
when you watch something like Doctor Who Confidential, which really properly shows people pulling out the stops, trying to, I had the privilege, and I don't mean to be boastful here, but I saw them filming in St Austell when they did the pirate episode.
A quarter of your head made the Confidential.
Yeah, but if you look very carefully, you can see half my head and half my jacket in the crowd. But basically, it just properly gave you an insight into how much effort the crew and the actors, especially the technical guys. They literally they would spend hours, fine-tuning everything for the recording. So when I heard people say, it's a DOS getting into TV, like, bruv.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's a load of rubbish.
No.
That's what I think about movies as well. Like, I do like watching behind-the-scenes featurettes on movie extras on DVDs and things. I love watching them because you just kind of watch the film and you think, how the hell did they do that? And most of the time it is CG. Granted, when they come up to a problem, they just throw CG at it. It'll be fine. But in kind of with old films like my favourite thing I think was with the film Alien, where the chest burster comes out of his chest and none of the actors knew what was going to happen. So all of their fear was genuine. They screamed and it was genuine fear, and it's kind of how they did that bit without letting them all know what was going on. It's just absolutely incredibly interesting.
So I think as a bonus answer, I think we can all agree that more documentaries on the media industry and how much hard work it is need to be made. It's a joint answer, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 2. Belgian runner Stefan Engels has set a world record by completing 365 marathons in 1 year. But what is your best personal record, Karla?
Now see,
How blue is this going to be?
Wait! I'm not that bad. But I was actually going to go for a bit of a gaming answer, and there's a really crappy online game called Bubble Spinner, where if you just need to kind of kill some time, or you are desperate to procrastinate, then you go on it. It's basically like a bust a move type game. And I actually hold the record, or one of the records on the main site for it, out of the entire world, because I'm that cool.
That
is quite cool.
So yeah, I had to throw that out there.
I think another way to procrastinate would be to listen to 11 O'Clock Waffle on YouTube.
Yeah,
you agree with that?
Good way.
You can do it at the same time. Bubble Spinner and the 11 O'Clock Waffle.
Even better. Calum, best record.
I don't think I have a best record in anything. I managed to complete a Xbox 360 video game in about 6 hours.
Which one?
Mirror's Edge, start to finish.
Yeah.
Managed to complete both Modern Warfare 1 and 2 in an afternoon, one after the other. Most of my records are video game based, I think. I can't really think of any others. Got all the achievements on Assassin's Creed 2. I don't know. It's just I don't really have any personal records per se.
Alex?
Well, my best record would probably be "I Am the Doctor" LP, as sung by John Pertwee. You mean right? Yeah, okay, the other record. Well, okay, this might come as a bit of a shock.
I think that joke would have worked if you'd gone first.
Bad timing. But yeah, I think my best beaten record. I think probably when in France, I was on holiday once in France. And in France, they have these special kind of breakfast donuts called beignets. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it. And the beignet is essentially a donut, but they package them as if you can have them for breakfast, which I absolutely love.
So like bagels.
No, not really. It is basically a donut, but I suppose if you want to be specific about it, there's like not much sugar on it, it's a sort of healthy donut, basically, as healthy as you can get. And I absolutely adore these things. But I went on this France trip once with my friends from my sixth form, and none of them had tried a beignet before, and none of them wanted to. And I just couldn't believe this. I was like, no, guys, you come on. I mean, being absolutely ridiculous. This is a unique cultural experience. Try a beignet. And they, said no. And I'd brought, I think, they come in packs of 4, and I'd brought like 4 boxes of these for us to share around over a few days. And nobody wanted to share them. I think 1 or 2 of my friends had them, but that was it. And I didn't even like them, so that was a right pain in the backside. But literally, I think, what was it? Within 24 hours, I had consumed 12 beignets, which amongst my friends is a record, because none of them had really tried any. So, and even for me, that was a record. So essentially, I had 12 French donuts within a 24-hour period, and I was feeling a bit worse for wear afterwards. It was a simple case of overeating, I think it's fair to say.
Okay, shall we have the scores at the end of question 2?
Go on then.
Why not?
Have I got score music? On 6 points, it's Alex. And tied for the lead at the minute on 7, it's Calum and Karla.
Yay!
Woo!
High five.
This is
Rockin'.
Keep On Running by the Spencer Davies Group.
I see, if we could go a bit bluer, I would have had a great answer.
That was photographed by Nickelback, and if you want to know how Nickelback got their name, you'll have to wait for the bonus cutout podcast. Question 3 now. An artist who had a camera attached to the back of his head in order to capture a photo every minute for a year has had it removed over health issues. But what piece of technology would you have integrated into your own body, and why? And I've got a feeling Alex bought a prop for this one, so Alex.
Well, admittedly, the prop wasn't part to do with the answer, but I just brought it because I thought it looked cool, because let's face it, a sonic screwdriver is cool. It's how we gained access to this very room, actually.
It was.
I sonic the lock. So, well, no, it wouldn't be the sonic screwdriver. Instead, however, it would be, when you buy those Ginsters pasties from a shop, yet, you're nowhere near a microwave or anything, so you can't really heat it up. That's why I'd have a microwave in my stomach. Plus, it means you can, obviously buy ready meals and save you going to, spend a fortune up at a canteen or somewhere. So that would be my answer, a nice big microwave, so, you can heat food up and remain nourished to carry out daily activities, one of which could be going to the computer, heating it on and listening to the 11 o'clock waffle.
Yeah. A bit of show plugging in the show.
Yeah.
Why not?
The only way we can plug the show is if people listen to the show. So you have a microwave in your stomach?
I'd have a microwave in my stomach.
And then once and the computer bit was separate, yeah?
Yeah.
That's okay, because I was just making sure you hadn't answered the same question as you had.
No, I do remember that one, because I got in a little bit of trouble with my contemporaries for that.
Alex's original answer was he'd have a radio headset built into his ear so he could listen to the 11 o'clock waffle whenever.
Aha, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But well done for having a very good different answer. Calum.
I do try.
Well, I kind of thought about this a little bit, but because everywhere I go, I think it's kind of a pretty normal box standard one that everybody probably wants, but because I take my iPod everywhere I go, I think I'd have an iPod built into my own head. At the back of my neck, I'd have a little USB port that I'd hook up to my computer, and then I'd kind of download music to my own face, and then listen to it through my own ears from inside my head.
Nice.
But Calum, what else would you download?
The 11 o'clock waffle,
Yeah.
of course.
We can do this. We can plug away like a bloody sink.
But apparently, little kind of side note, there is a bit of technology where you can where they've attached something to someone's heart, so you can actually charge electric devices through your own skin.
That cannot be healthy.
No, apparently it's completely healthy because it kind of, I think it uses your own electronic field, and it just boosts it a little bit, so that it can charge. So that would work even more to charge my own head. The iPod in my head.
It's amazing.
That is a top-notch answer. Karla,
Right.
got a lot to live up to here.
I thought about this a little bit, and firstly, I was going to go with a phone integrated into your hand, because everyone's got a phone now, let's be honest. You need to keep in touch. Sometimes you forget it, and when you do, you feel completely lost. I've forgot mine. Well, I'd say I forgot mine. Mine died on me a couple of weeks ago. And for the whole day, I was at uni all day and was just kind of thinking, I feel lost. Everything must be happening right now, and I will never know what it is until I get home. But then I had a bit more of a think about it, and I'm going to go for the little memo kind of thing, like the one that was in the first couple of Doctor Who episodes of this series, where you can just give yourself a little memo, press your palm, and just be like, remember to listen to 11 O'Clock Waffle later when you get in.
That's a very good answer.
Yeah, and
It's fantastic.
just, you can remind yourself of everything, like that film that your friend told you about.
That's very
And,
good.
You know, that song that was on the radio. If they don't tell you what it is, you can just put your hand up to it, listen, get it recorded, go home, find out what it is later.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Listen
Note
to your
yourself.
handy hand, you know.
Yes, a
Note
handy
yourself.
hand.
Get stamps.
Dragon's
Yeah.
Den.
Yeah.
It's calling.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Brilliant.
Well, it's better than kind of calling your own answer machine, saying hello, it's you. Don't forget to pick up milk.
Hello.
Remember to turn the gas off.
This is
Bye.
Alan Rickman
Yeah.
telling you to take the pork chops out of the freezer and into the refrigerator.
Oh dear. Question. Please watch it on YouTube, and after you've watched that, watch the 11 O'Clock Waffle.
Yes.
Question 4. An opera in London has opened based upon the life of Anna Nicole Smith, co-written by the author behind the Jerry Springer opera. So who else's life needs to be turned into an opera? Karla.
See, I was desperately trying to think of my answer from last kind of time, because I'm sure I answered that question. But part of me would kind of like to say Hugh Hefner. Purely because there's a lot that guy has done. And
And he's still alive.
yeah, how the hell is he still alive? But yeah, that's one. Also, maybe Freud, because you know that's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because Friends, there's an episode where Joey plays a part in a musical about
Yes,
Freud.
that's
You
brilliant.
would, if you've seen that episode, you just want to watch the entire thing and just, every song. Just think about the kind of songs you could have.
And seeing Freud burst into song is just always always golden, always golden.
Has Phoebe been in an opera before? Has Phoebe from Friends? Was she in the opera, or she's a singer, isn't she? Or tries to be?
She's more of a guitarist.
No,
It's
in fact, she's just-
Joey's the actor.
Right, Joey's
and
the
it was
actor.
a musical
Yeah.
thing.
Points off for Alex for lack of knowledge of Friends.
Oh.
For God's sake.
How dare you?
Hang on, where's my points off button?
Got me! He got me!
Callum.
Chuck Norris.
Yes.
Aw,
Hang on.
good answer.
Alex, you've got points to make up here.
I plan to, don't you worry. Is it on me now, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Chuck Norris is the only answer one can get. It's Chuck Norris.
It doesn't even need
It doesn't
expanded
even-
on.
It doesn't even need an explanation.
Chuck Norris is such a good answer that you don't even have to explain.
Yes.
Okay, try this one out for size. Russell T. Davis, chronicling the guy's up and down life and writing career, particularly when we get to the writer's tale part. I mean, come on. The emotion that man must feel, the sheer... he just throws himself into things and he gets so emotional. I don't know if you've read his book, The Writer's Tale, but he gets really emotional at points, and it'd just be wonderful. You could just have, marvellous up and down music. It'd just be so dramatic and theatrical and really edge of your seat stuff, so I'd put that up.
Well, I suppose you could have kind of operas for many writers, like Stephen King opera.
Yeah.
That would be epic.
Oh.
If
they could just do almost like a montage of kind of all of his good stories intertwined together, like some kind of Love Actually opera.
He kind of already did that though with The Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, by the way. I finished reading them over summer.
I'm going to check if it's on my Kindle.
But there's only 1 point Alex can have for that answer.
I'm back.
Okay, we'll have some songs now before we go on to question 5 and 6 from shows 5 and 6.
Cool.
Question 5. What is the greatest film of all time?
Oh, God.
Alex.
Withnail and I.
Oh.
Withnail and I. Has anybody here seen the film Withnail and I?
Yes.
Seen bits of it. I've seen bits of it, I have to admit.
It is amazing. It is very,
Come on,
very
Richard
good.
E. Grant, Paul McGann, both together playing two out-of-work actors going on holiday to the English countryside. What's there not to love in that? It's just really quotable lines. I don't know if you can get them up on YouTube or whether or not they'll be suitable for some, if there are any young members of the audience out there listening, but check out that film.
I think I remember a quote, actually.
We'll have the finest wines in the land and we'll have them
here,
now.
and we'll have them now.
I think what I remember is I have a heart condition.
I have a heart condition.
It's murder.
Yeah. You hit me, it's murder. My wife is having a baby. Look, I don't know what I just did to upset you, but maybe you should discuss it outside. It's like sensible people in the street.
No, it's good. It's a good one, man. It's a good one.
Of course, there is one line we will not quote because it has
Of course.
yes, the C word in it. And,
Yes.
And isn't the end? What's the ending?
Oh,
The ending's
it's-
The ending with
without giving
Shakespeare,
anything
innit? Yeah.
away, it's Withnail quotes Hamlet.
It's one of the soliloquies.
It is one of the syllables.
I just love
And
how they're
it's-
so badass. They take a bottle of wine and 2 glasses to the station with them. I want to try that at some point in my life.
Fair enough. I know anyone who actually tried it would probably die. But the Withnail and I drinking game,
God.
just to see how far in you could get.
Well, there's lighter fluid included in that.
You can substitute it with vinegar if you wanted.
Because there's the bit where he drinks the lighter fluid, and I
Yeah.
always wondered how you're going to get around that. Because they order a hell of a lot of booze in that film. What is it, like
Oh, they do.
2 large scotches, 2 gins, 3 pints of cider, ice in the cider. It's just like, whoa.
But yeah, it just sounds insane. But part of me would just love to try it to see how far in I could get with before I just forgot what I was
We can't
doing.
go on like this. I'm a trained actor. Reduce the stakes of the bum. I demand to have some booze.
Calum.
Oh God. My favourite movies, the best. Well, is it favourite movies or the best movie?
Greatest movie.
Greatest movie. Oh, I don't know what the greatest movie. Probably. I don't know. Probably in my opinion, the Lord of the Rings series. The series, all of the Lord of the Rings films. I mean, they're not. They're CG done. The eyeballs. They're horrendously long, especially the extended versions.
Yes.
The extended versions are each like 4 hours long, something silly like that. But I mean, it has everything one can ever want from a film. Really, it's got action, it's got romance, it's got big mythical beasts and wizards and incredible story that runs through the whole lot. It's just absolutely a fantastic series of films.
The acting is phenomenal.
And the acting is spot on. All of the actors are absolutely amazing, and directed by a guy who previously did horrible, nasty, violent, disgusting, depraved
Brain
New
dead.
Zealand. Yeah, brain dead. enough said, really. New Zealand slasher ultra violence movies.
Yeah.
You know, and then he comes into the the US and makes these epic
Classic
films. You know, and I think just on that merit alone, that this guy from New Zealand has come across into the States and made these amazing films that completely destroys all of the previous epic films.
It just kind of
before that.
shows what you can do when
Yeah.
you have the right director, the right cast, the right set designer,
Yeah.
the right camera team, everything just, and the right composer, of course, to still
Oh,
come together
absolutely,
to
yeah,
create, an absolute classic.
Yeah.
And I must have been thinking, like, the hobbits stole the precious, the stupid fat hobbitses.
And it's a pioneer for incredible technology as well.
Yeah.
In CG, I mean, you can say what you like about CG, that sometimes they do ruin films because they just don't look right.
Yeah.
But in The Lord of the Rings, they look perfect. You know, I mean, the pioneer with kind of the pioneering technology with Gollum, with using Andy Serkis in a mocap suit and doing that and kind of changing him into the Gollum you see on screen is just you don't see that anywhere since or before or since.
They wouldn't give him a best supporting actor, would they, at the Oscars?
Exactly.
Because they're like, he's not actually acting in it.
Well, yeah, that's still kind of up for dispute, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is he acting? Isn't he acting? Is it all to do with the CG?
Yeah.
But without Andy Serkis' acting, the CG wouldn't have anything to be attached to.
His voice work alone is good.
Yeah.
Very, suitably creepy and charismatic.
Yeah, well, there
And
we go.
and that came out at the same time as the Harry Potters, didn't it? And I know there was always going to be some tension between which series was better. Although The Lord of the Rings was shorter, you can't deny the production values in that, and the quality
Immense.
is just second to
Absolutely
none.
immense. It just spans just every single form of filmmaking. I mean, the extras on the DVDs are in themselves are just amazing. With the documentaries about the bigatures and building Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
And having little cameras going, zooming in, all that kind of thing. It's absolutely brilliant. I literally could go on all day about how amazing Lord of the Rings is.
Lord of the Rings special.
quick. See, my greatest movie and favourite movie, I wasn't sure what to answer, because my favourite movie is either Cinema Paradiso, which is an Italian movie that you have to see. It's just so beautiful.
My mum's been getting me to watch that for ages. For some reason I just haven't gone around to it yet.
It's so beautiful. The last 5 minutes just sums up everything so good. In Up as well, which I think is a great movie.
A classic.
I cry first 5 minutes every single time. However, for the greatest movie ever, I might have to go with a classic in maybe say something like Indiana Jones. Because
Which one?
Probably the first one.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
it, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's just a great film that kind of, no matter what kind of mood you're in,
Oh, yeah.
if you're happy, it will just keep you in that mood. If you're upset or angry or something, then it just lifts you up. If you want a laugh, it gives you it. Alright, fair enough. If you want to cry, maybe not much. But if you want to cry, go for Up. First 5 minutes, you're done. The rest of it, happy as Larry.
I like Wall-E.
Yeah, all these very
Wally's
good.
cool.
All these good.
That was a fantastic film.
Another amazing series of films are probably the Studio Ghibli films.
I
Not so many of them.
love Spirited Away.
I'm collecting them because they're all numbered. Because there's 15 of them now, or 16, something like that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 14. I got Spirited Away for Christmas.
Oh, that's
And
great.
Spirited Away is number 14, so I'm collecting them all slowly. My next ones are Howl's Moving Castle and Princess Mononoke. And
I've seen
those,
Princess Mononoke.
I saw Howl's
Yeah.
as well. Have you got Kiki's Delivery Service?
I have. Again, it's like Up for you. Every time, right at the beginning, the credit, all of the kind of pre-filmed mumbo jumbo goes by, and then the music starts up, and I'm in tears already. It's insane. I love that film to pieces. It's just such a Studio Ghibli films like Up, where or no, like what you said about Indiana Jones, where if you want to laugh, they're brilliant.
Yeah.
If you want, they'll lift you up because they're so light-hearted and so amazingly colourful.
They're easy
films.
to watch. Yeah.
They're really easy to watch. Even if you want to listen to the Japanese and read the subtitles, they're really easy to watch. And they,
visually always very good.
visual-
Spirited Away. I mean, that just got me. It was like wow.
Yeah.
Completely blown away, and it did the fairy tale really good, and they told a very good fairy tale in that one.
See, that's how you define a greatest film, is no matter what mood you are in,
Yeah.
you enjoy it.
You really will enjoy it, absolutely.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I think that
Again,
has
Star Wars
everything.
films. Star Wars films are epic, amazing films.
not
that
Phantom
should be-
Menace.
No,
Well,
no.
the old ones, New Hope.
I heard Attack of the
Jedi.
Clones was even worse than that.
I'm not sure.
I see. It's one of these big Star Wars disputes where kind of I like all six. I have to admit, the old ones are better, infinitely better.
The thing is,
But I still like the first three.
I find the problem with Phantom Menace is it's too aimed at kids.
That's why I saw it.
I mean,
Especially
I was-
with Jar Jar Binks.
I mean, I was
Jar
only
Jar Binks.
8 when that came out, the episode 1 film, and I will admit that part of me, even at that age, felt a little bit cheated, because although it was the beginning, it didn't really feel like the beginning. So
Yeah,
I felt
everything looked so new.
well, yeah, I mean,
As well, everything looked so shiny.
I felt a bit robbed in that sense, but I did like the whole story, and seeing young Anakin, who was my age at the time, so I felt like I had an audience identification
That's
figure
right,
in
yeah.
that sense. So I quite enjoyed it in that respect. And I have to admit, I did have a soft spot for good old Jar Jar, who did make me laugh as a kid. I can see it from an adult's point of view now. If I was to watch it, I'd go, no, just. It's like Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Sorry.
Whoa.
Oh, is that too far?
Come on,
Bring
it
Timon.
couldn't have been
Yeah, that's a good song.
Timon and Pumbaa
No, I'm not
into
dissing them.
this.
I'm not
What
dissing
did they ever
them.
do to you?
Nothing. I like them. As a
It
kid,
means
I
no
liked
worries
them.
for the rest of your days.
It's a problem-free philosophy.
I think the thing is, I suppose I'm a bit bitter because they had Rowan Atkinson in that film playing Zazu the Hornbill. And for the first half of the film, Zazu was the comic relief. Timon and Pumbaa come in and they steal poor Zazu's thunder. He gets sidelined.
That's
They
because
sidelined Rowan
died and
Atkinson.
Simba had to run away.
You don't sideline the Atkinson. I'm sorry, that's not allowed.
But Timon,
I'm not dissing them. I'm just...
Timon has gone on to run one of the greatest insurance firms ever and compare the market.
I'm not nothing about meerkats. I love meerkats. And Nathan Lane, who plays him, is a very good actor. He was in the remake of The Producers. I think he was in one of the episodes of Frasier as well, playing a con man.
Yeah.
So I know.
And he pops up in 30 Rock as well doing
They had a lot of good
Yeah.
stars in that. I know we've digressed a bit, but they have lots of good stars in The Lion King. They had Whoopi Goldberg playing an evil hyena,
Yeah,
and Jeremy Irons playing Scar. It's just
and all back to Star Wars again.
exactly
Yeah.
James
Earl
Earl Jones.
good old James
Legend
Earl
James.
Jones.
Even Matthew Broderick playing
Mm.
adult Simba,
Yeah,
randomly enough, who was also in The Producers.
Yeah.
exactly. He plays the sidekick, so Nathan Lane's character.
Mm.
So it all comes back.
Okay, question 6. Let's get there eventually. A German radio station has run a competition offering listeners the chance to pay off their own funeral by submitting an epitaph for their headstone. So what would go on your tombstone, Karla?
I like Spike Milligan's I Told You I Was Sick,
Yeah.
because it's just...
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I cannot think of anything better than to just have something on it which just, I don't know, I like the idea that if someone visited my grave, they'd have a bit of a laugh. Or maybe just an invitation for them to dance on it or something. I don't know. Like 1 Maca, 2 Maca, 3 Macarena or something. And then they'll just burst into dance.
Alex, your gravestone?
Allons-y. It'll have Allons-y on there.
That it?
That doesn't need explanation. It's the 10th Doctor's catchphrase. It's quite appropriate. Or I suppose if I had to choose another one, it'd be Geronimo. Because, of course, I'm going, off I go, off into a new life. So, Geronimo. And if okay, I'm overdoing myself a bit here, but if I had to be quite angsty, I'd probably put, he didn't want to go, ...
It's quite sad. Calum.
I want to go.
I don't know.
Guess what the winner gets by the way today?
I don't know. Here lies Calum MacFarlane, I suppose. he realised Calum MacFarlane. He lived as if he wanted to, I suppose.
What clever one could be, he lived like every day was his last. And it was his last.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I'm going to nick Alex's idea.
I think Alex
I'll
can
have
have the
that
points for that. Oh dear. Right, where's the scores at this halfway stage? Okay, on 22 points it's Calum.
Woo!
Also on 22 points it's Alex. And in the lead on 24 it's Karla.
Nice,
Woo!
nice.
Can she keep it up?
Probably not. I never have before.
Phil Collins. Oh. Question 7. Phil Collins has announced his retirement from the music industry, but who else should really call it a day? Alex.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the time. Yeah, I'm just looking at the timer. Who else should call it a day in the music? Is this in the music industry or just in general?
In the music industry. In general.
In general, who should call it a day? Hold on. I think the lad who should call it a day, and this is very typical of me, I think you'll find this is a running theme in a lot of my answers on the show, I think the Conservative government should just call it a day. I'm sorry, but they've tried and it's just not working. I'm sorry, but this thing, I feel strangely sorry for David Cameron because he clearly is trying to be Superman. I suppose that's what a lot of Prime Ministers try to do, pretty much all of them, sadly, but Cameron is trying to be Superman. He's trying to empathise with the people, particularly after the terrible riots that happened earlier this year. He really is trying, but he just can't do it because no matter how hard he tries, he will just never come across as genuinely sympathetic. I'm really sorry, Mr. Cameron, but it's just the way things are. And so I just think maybe it's time to see what the Lib Dems would do if they had total power for once. Because we've had Labour and we've had Conservative. I want to see, because I don't think I've ever been alive when there's been a Lib Dem government in power. I
don't think anybody's ever been alive when there's a Lib Dem government
they've never been
in power.
I think we should give them a chance, at least. As long as they don't make false promises. Well, no, they're politicians, that's quite difficult. But long as we should give them a try at the very least to see what it would be like under them. Because Labour is very well-meaning, very well-intentioned, but they don't do anything. And the Conservatives make plans, they talk about the plans, they go on about the plans on BBC Breakfast, and nothing happens. So maybe, just maybe, give the Lib Dems a chance. What do you say, people? Yeah, that's my answer.
Karla.
Maybe they should call it a day. Part me, purely because I can't stand the guy and do want to maybe shoot him in the face a little bit, is unfortunately Justin Bieber. I think he's done enough now. He doesn't need to, he's definitely not in it for the money anymore, let's be honest. Go have a normal life and,
Raise your kid.
Yeah. I don't know if you know Bieber's
Allegedly.
story. How did he get into the music business? Well, literally just
basically, a guy called Usher.
Yes, the Usher chap. Yes.
He saw Justin Bieber on YouTube and tracked him down and signed him up.
Right.
Which doesn't sound paedophilic at all.
Oh, not at all.
But
I don't know, because I feel strange. Again, I feel strangely sorry for Justin Bieber because he clearly, he's got quite a loyal following. But I just think at that age, he's a bit young to go through all that. I mean, I suppose you could argue the same about the Harry Potter stars, but at least they grew up with it, kind of. It was a natural thing for them. Whereas Bieber, he's a different world in the pop industry, and I just feel, shouldn't he be chilling with his mates or at school? I don't know. I mean, I have this thing. I do tend to feel sorry for child stars, but lately there have been some pretty good ones on Doctor Who. Funny enough, I think there have been some very good child actors we've seen. So who knows? Maybe I'm having resigned to the fact we've got some good up and coming young talent.
There is a difference between child actors and child music stars.
True.
I think there's a massive kind of difference between the two, seeing that child actors, obviously films, but music stars,
different world, I suppose.
It is a different world.
I know Billie Piper in her autobiography, which I've read many a time, goes on about how, I mean, she, it started off, quite, she was having a lot of fun, it was quite cool, but then obviously you enter that circle where they're all taking drugs to keep their figure, and they're all, knocking back the alcohol after, a show, knowing they have to get up the next day to do interviews for Capital FM or whatever, So, it's all a bit, so I suppose there is that whole drug abuse world you get into amongst the models and pop stars.
The thing is, TV stars, I mean, fair enough, there's been a couple of good child actors on Doctor Who and on stuff like that, but, you could do one stint and then just go back to your normal life. You don't have to come up with an album, you don't have to stay in the public eye to make sure your records keep on selling. You don't have to...
Well, then you get to make royalties as well from the repeater. If you've been on TV, you get to do royalties and stuff from your appearance in Doctor Who or any other TV show. So you're okay in that respect. You will get... if Doctor Who is broadcast on an ice rink in the middle of, wherever, or, like an oil rig in the middle of... the Atlantic Ocean, then if it's broadcast there, the actor concerned will get a certain fee, not a large fee, granted, but a fee nonetheless. Whereas, of course, I guess it's different with, you've got to keep reinventing yourself.
Going back to a question, I think I remember what I answered last time. If I did, and it was Jordan, and I still believe she should.
She should.
Totally.
Especially seeing that apparently.
Don't think I've forgotten Jordan.
You can have an extra point.
Well, apparently now she thinks that someone's going to kidnap her kids as well.
Yeah, apparently her car was bugged.
Yeah, her car has a tracking device on it.
I'm sure that was a question on the show as well. Calum, who should call it a day?
Simon Cowell, I think.
Always went for him.
Yeah. He seems to have been around for ages, absolutely ages, and he's plaguing the music industry with the same rubbish year after year after year after year, and it's. The thing is that he is not reinventing himself. He seems to have this kind of philosophy that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So he just kind of keeps thinking that because the pop industry isn't broken, then he's not going to put anything new into it. So he's just going to keep getting money for himself by pumping out this tripe and stuff like the X Factor and
everything,
all of his various media vehicles and all that kind of thing. And I just think he should just give it, let someone else take the reins of his kind of power in a way, and hopefully kind of through his power kind of reinvent kind of the British music industry in a way. Maybe I just don't want him on TV anymore or in any kind of capacity.
He's not even on TV.
He's in America now.
Yeah,
if you ever bother to watch ITV2, which, to be honest...
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Unless you have no life or you have a lot life and would just like to feel better about it by
unless
watching...
you like watching Billie Piper as a cool girl.
Yeah, which apparently is a really good show, I've heard.
It's fairly, I would like it.
The only reason to watch ITV2 is to feel better about your own life. You have Jeremy Kyle,
yeah.
Desperate Scouse Wives, I think the new one's called.
Desperate Scouse.
That's the only reason to watch
Someone
ITV2.
scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Reason.
Come on.
They've gone beneath the bottom, now they're digging it
into the ground.
Yes.
Oh, going into the muck and the dirt underneath. Oh.
Steady on, Calum.
But it is though. It is. It's ridiculous. Just people are just making these horrible, horrible shows. Why?
Because they're cheap and the masses like them.
Masses.
Question 8. The Cornish pasty has been awarded protected status along with the Cumberland sausage. But what is Cornwall's greatest asset? Let's go for a quick one. And this, Alex.
In Falmouth, there is a great cake shop called Annie's Kitchen. Does the best cake around for ages, for miles. I'd say that is Cornwall's best asset. A wonderful little cake shop called Annie's Kitchen along Key Street in Falmouth. Check it out.
Calum.
I'm kind of along the same lines as Alex. There's a really amazing sandwich shop in Penryn, which I go to all the time. Strawberries in Penryn. It's fantastic. I go there all the time. I'd say that was Cornwall's greatest, well, one of Cornwall's greatest assets in a way. Or they make sandwiches for you in front of you like Subway, only better with better people in there. And they do all kinds of things. And it's just absolutely fantastic, and it's right across the road from where I live. So I end up sinking a lot of money into there.
Karla.
Unbelievably so, I'm going along the same lines as both of them, and there's a great little fudge shop in Falmouth called the Chocolate Box. Guys, don't go to Mr. Sims. I mean, he's all right, but it's a chain. You want to go to the Chocolate Box, whereas there is a lovely couple that do the best fudge, and right now, fair enough, if you're listening to this after Christmas, no good. But they do Christmas fudge in there, which has bits of marzipan and stuff in it that you have to go to and try. It, I guarantee you, it is the so good fudge.
Guess where I'm going after this.
So yes, Chocolate Box.
Okay, that was a very good round. Scores are quite interesting. We'll have some Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran after all that talk of food.
Yay.
Question 9. In a week of super injunction related news, what stories do you think could be hidden behind a super injunction? Karla.
I wasn't sure. Now see, part of me would say anything to do with Jordan, Jedward, or Justin Bieber. Not to save them, but purely
To save
because,
us.
yeah, purely
their
because
idiocy.
none of us need to know what the hell they're up to.
Yeah.
So if, super injunction, anyone who wants to find out can go to the lengths to find out.
Yeah, absolutely. But you don't really all need to know that.
Yeah, we don't, fill that page up in the paper about a few people that died today. That's more important.
Yeah.
Or, about some happy little ducks in a pond who...
Absolutely, I completely agree with that, because I sometimes when I'm bored at work, I read some of the newspapers,
Yeah.
as you do,
As you do.
and I read through it, and there was a particular news story, right? I think it was Gaddafi's son being captured, or something. And in one newspaper, it was front page. They had a massive 2-page spread. In like the Mirror or something, they had 2-page spread of the X Factor shenanigans, and literally just a column about that rubbish about the stuff from Gaddafi's son being captured. And I just think we need to know more about that bit than this bit, and I think absolutely.
I mean, it's like the Wall Street stuff.
Mm.
I mean, it's been happening for weeks before it as much as really hit a paper in the UK. And yet we had everything about X Factor and Strictly and, who's going to be an I'm Celebrity, let's find out. And, maybe Peter Jordan's going and Kitty's been saying this on her Twitter. It's kind of like, we don't need to know this stuff. Tell us about the stuff that might actually affect us. And yeah, that would be me. That's my answer.
Putting your fist down.
Yes.
Calum.
I don't know. Super injunctions. Or everything to do with sport, I think. All of the stuff about, wasn't that a guy, Blatter?
Sepp Blatter.
Yeah, who posted. Oh, for God's sake, Mac!
How dare you, sir?
This isn't very professional.
How do you think you are?
Who is it?
It's Lucy.
Oh, how's
lovely.
she?
She's just over the road at the performance centre.
Let's come over for a visit.
Yeah, cool.
Good morning here for a visit.
Yeah. Anyway, all that thing with that Blatter guy, and he posted a picture on Twitter or something of him hugging a black guy.
Yes.
All that stuff should be in super injunction, so nobody needs to know about it because it's not worth knowing, really, in my opinion.
I know, because the whole point of that was he came out and said that there is a racism issue in football, and that if somebody's nasty, if there's a racism issue on the pitch, they should just shake hands at the end of it. And everybody was like, "This is ridiculous! You can't come out and say that." And then he puts up this photo. Oh look, there's me hugging look, I'm friends with black people. Look, I'm not racist. And it's like, no, it just made it even worse.
Fair enough. But even so, my point still stands. I think.
Alex.
Okay, now this is going to be quite a controversial answer, and given and a little bit uncharacteristic, I must confess. I love Christmas. I really, really do. But there should be this rule, this absolute rule. No Christmas advertising of supermarkets. I'm going to make TV the exception because people need to know what programmes are coming up. But advertising for Christmas foods or anything else should be banned before December 1st. I'm really, really sorry. I don't mean to sound like a Scrooge, but it's starting to get on my nerves now. We have got a good few weeks left until the big day. So, Karla.
4 weeks tomorrow, just to let you know.
Yeah, I know, but I mean...
Yeah, stop letting us know.
But seriously though, in my book, it used to... I mean, back in the day when I was a kid, it was no Christmas stuff until the 1st of December because you had your advent calendar. Well, as soon as you open the first window of that calendar, and if you were lucky, you got a little chocolate inside. As soon as you did that, then it was fine. You could talk about Christmas till the sheep come home. But please, I am begging a lot of advertisers out there to stop it. And I'll tell you why. I will admit there is a personal reason attached. It's because here at Falmouth Uni, where we're recording this podcast, we break up on the 9th of December. Fine, but this year round, I have booked an extra week to stay here because I've got work experience. And, I do not want to turn down work experience in this climate, particularly in this climate, because I'd be an absolute twit. But by this constant bombardment of Christmas advertising, left, right and centre, it's reminding me that I can't go home for an extra week. I'm not going to be back home with my family till the 17th. And I just find it painful. It's almost like they're teasing. So I'm sorry. I apologise. I don't look like a Scrooge because I love Christmas personally. I love that festive time of year. But come on, guys. No advertising before 1st of December. It's as simple as that.
Do you think Christmas should be hidden behind a super injunction?
Only before December 1st. That's the personal word. And it's supermarkets as well. They get their decorations up. I think it was even before Halloween. Well, no, the day after Halloween, they had their Christmas decorations. And I was like, but you've got a good few weeks left until it doesn't make... And don't get me started on that flipping Coke advert. I'm sorry, but... No, it's not the advert itself. It's when it's shown. Again...
It's shown early, I admit.
Yeah, it just gets very silly.
I don't go home until the 22nd.
Yeah, you've got longer than me then. Blimey, right?
I have teaching right up until the 20th. But it's... At the same time,
I think it just gets a bit silly.
I think now, kind of mid-November onwards, I think the adverts are fine.
You think it's fine?
Just purely because when it gets to December 1st, and then you think, oh crap, I need to buy stuff for people.
You think there's almost like a public service behind it to constantly remind people to get up there?
It reminds me.
Yeah.
I mean, I admit, the stuff like the bloody Lakefield... What's it called? Oh, give us your money and then you can save up all year. And they're doing that in July as well. It's
I think it gets silly.
I don't agree.
It is. I will make the exception for TV advertising for programmes on BBC One or whatever, of which there's a great trailer out now. I'll make that the exception because people do have to, obviously know what's on the telly so they can, obviously plan out, and get excited for that. But come on, everybody, it's basic common knowledge that Christmas is December 25th. I don't quite understand why all the bombardment. It is just all corporate nonsense, I suppose, and it does tick me off. Just in case you hadn't noticed, just a tiny bit. Sorry, guys, that was quite an uncharacteristic rant. I apologise, but no, I'm back to normal, sane-ish Alex now. Yeah.
Question 10. By the way, the Christmas special is on YouTube. Listen to it. 11 O'Clock Waffle.
I don't act like a Scrooge, just... well, you would have heard it first before this, so that make any sense.
Alex?
Yeah.
Cut down.
Alright.
Golfer Steve Ballesteros passed away from cancer this year. Regarded as one of the most influential golfers of his generation, give me the name of someone else who has inspired you. Alex?
Russell T Davis.
Calum?
I don't know. Actually, a lot of people have. Stephen King is probably one. Not really for his fictional books, but for one book in particular, which is on writing, which has inspired me no end.
It's amazing
It's
book.
a brilliant book, absolutely
They,
brilliant.
they actually put it on the reading list
Really?
for the MA.
Oh, fantastic! That's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's definitely needs to be read. Charlie Brooker is another guy who's inspired me to be overly cynical about absolutely everything. And yeah, as I said, a lot of people inspired me. Really, yeah. I could go on, but I won't.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt, actually, mate. There are two other less obvious answers for me, people who inspire me. One is Verity Lambert, the very first producer of Doctor Who. Then there's Jerry Anderson, the guy who produced Thunderbirds and the various Anderson shows. I mean, those three, just make up a very inspirational team for me. And, they have inspired my career to work in the TV entertainment industry.
Karla.
Short and sweet, my granddad, who gave me the travel bug that I have, that is always spurred me to write and to follow my dreams.
That's a good answer.
Okay, the scores on 30. It's always that little bit at the end that throws you. On 34 points, it's Calum. 35 points, it's Alex. And in the lead still on 37, it's Karla.
Nice.
Pushing on now with question 11. The Human Centipede 2 has been denied a certificate by the BBFC, meaning it could not currently be shown in British cinemas without permission from local councils.
Good.
But what films do you wish had been banned from the cinema so you do not waste your money viewing them? Calum.
Doom.
Doom.
And I watched it twice.
Oh.
I went to see
Why?
it. Well, I'll tell you. I went to see it once because I was curious. I thought, well, Doom. What can go wrong?
And then you
everything went wrong.
And then you watched it a second time thinking, was it really that bad?
Well,
let's remember.
A friend of mine, he was on Orange, and as you probably know, they have Orange Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So in Orange Wednesdays, you can have you can buy one ticket and get one free. I was the free ticket, so essentially, I went to the cinema for free to be with my friend when he went to see it. We sat at the back and we just took the biscuit out of it throughout the whole thing. It was It was a horrendous film, and that shouldn't be shown at cinemas ever again. It should never have been. Just straight to DVD. Yeah.
Alex.
Okay, another quite controversial answer. It's a bag. I don't really know the proper name of this particular film, but here goes. The most recent Terminator one, the one.
Terminator Salvation.
Salvation, that's the one. I saw that in the cinema, and I have to admit, didn't do it for me. I will admit, I'm not an action-adventure film at the best of times, but for me, it just
You're
didn't...
a human being, you're not an action-adventure
film fair. I just... No, I didn't really like that one. And admittedly, though, I saw the G.I. Joe film after that. The thing about the G.I. Joe film that I liked, though, was the fact it knew how cheesy it was, and it had Chris Eccleston in it as well. And, it
As
knew...
a baddie.
Exactly, he'd be a very good Destro, I felt that, at least that kind of knew how bad it was. It was taking the mickey and nudging itself a little bit at the same time. So Major Salvation, it was just like shooting in the dark, essentially.
Yeah.
It
took itself a bit too seriously,
yeah,
I think.
there was no real sense of fun. I found it very hard to sympathise with a lot of the characters, and it just felt like Hollywood saying, let's make another action-adventure romp, here we go.
Well, I think they tried to just think, let's make another Terminator film after the failure of the third one.
There was no Arnie as well, was there?
And there was a CGI.
CGI
Arnie. There's a CGI Arnie in it. But I mean, after the first two, they just got rubbish. Because the first two were made by James Cameron, who is a legend in the film industry, And and also, when I was watching it, in the back of my mind, I just kept listening to Christian Bale's rant, his massive, swear-heavy rant at the lighting mechanic.
We are done professionally.
I'll just walk through the set.
I think there's one line in that which is, this is Jan Connor, you are the Resistance, and he says that like 4 times throughout the film, or something. Just like,
I was waiting for him to just go, I'm Batman. Throughout the whole thing as well. I found it humorous to watch when I shouldn't. And I can totally see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it as an action film, as a film in itself.
Yeah.
Not as a Terminator film.
Not as a Terminator film.
Michael Biehns watched the first few minutes and switched over.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
He said, I had no idea what was going on. There was stuff blowing up everywhere.
He knows what he's talking about.
And
he's
Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese, yeah.
Yes. Karla.
I'm gonna keep it short again. All those films which come out in the cinema, particularly cinema ones, which are of bands in pop groups and their time on tour, like Justin Bieber, like JLS.
I didn't know they showed those.
S Club did a film, didn't they?
Michael Jackson.
Well, I'm not meaning
Or
that.
Spice
I'm
Girls.
meaning the actual tours.
Right.
I mean the.
Oh God!
Yeah,
Why
put
show
them
in
on
cinema?
DVD, fine. Put them on ITV2, also fine. But don't take up time in the cinema where, you could be having another showing of that movie which should have another screen in it. I mean, something like Michael Jackson, This Is It thing, I'll allow that because he did die and it was a pretty momentous thing. But, kind of the Justin Bieber, JLS, Hannah Montana, CNL.
I mean, I can kind of be with you. I mean, I'm not a big Michael Jackson, I'm not a Michael Jackson fan at all. But he was highly influential in the pop industry.
Yeah.
And he was a pop prince. He was the prince of pop, as they say.
The king of pop.
The king of pop. Whatever.
I would have thought that
he
was
was
Dr. Pepper.
he was massive. He did a lot. So kind of showing that at the cinema.
Yeah, I mean, I echo that as well. I mean, I was never a huge Jackson fan, yet he has always been a constant.
I can appreciate
in someone's life.
I
A
can
lot of my
appreciate
friends were fans, and he was always obviously in the background, the news and the music.
Okay. Question 12. Duke Nukem is back in the gaming world after a 12-year wait, but what else in the world are you waiting for? Karla.
I'm always answering first.
Sometimes
Use a
Alex
think.
does.
I am waiting quite desperately for the new Batman movie.
Yes.
It has Bane in it. I'm a huge fan of the comics, and Bane is one of my favourite villains in the comics.
And he's being played by
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
So amazing.
Oh,
Get Empire this month. There is a load of stuff in it about the movie. It's set 8 years after the Dark Knight movie, which
Blimey.
who knows what's happened in between, and we're dealing with a whole new
Alfred.
story. He's still in it. He might die, probably, maybe
Not
of
Michael
old
Caine.
age.
No.
Not Michael Caine.
But
My
it's-
name is Michael Caine.
I just love Bane. The movie,
Bane
the
is
George
awesome.
Clooney movie, which had him in, was freaking terrible,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he is nothing like that. So yeah,
Especially
Batman.
seeing Bane in
I'm looking
yeah.
forward to Batman.
Callum.
Lot of gaming look forward to's in my mind, albeit the biggest look forward to has already come out, which is Skyrim, of course. But I don't know. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. There's not really probably Grand Theft Auto 5. I think big look forward to in my eyes. Of course, I've watched the debut trailer of it and it looks immense.
Is it set in the 70s or something?
No, it's set in modern times,
Oh, okay.
like GTA 4, but it's set on the west coast this time. It's set in the equivalent of Los Angeles.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of gone through a San Andreas kind of blender in a way. But they've introduced so many new things to it, and it's just GTA 4 was a big release. GTA 5 will be even bigger, and it's made by a British company as well.
Nice.
In Edinburgh, which is where Rockstar North are based. So that's my big look forward to.
Alex.
Doctor Who's 50th anniversary. What the hell are they going to do? That just seems to be immense in my view. I'm looking forward to see what exactly they're going to pull out of the bag to mark 50 years of a TV programme that really started in 1963. So I'm looking forward with bated breath to that. I mean, I look forward to every series of Doctor Who, but that one especially, the big 5-0. What will they do? Who knows? So I look forward to it.
Who knows? In the meantime, here's Footloose. Question 13. If 11 O'Clock Waffle was turned into a movie, cast the panellists and myself. Calum, you can go first this time.
Panellists, so us four.
Well,
As
Ed, you got Ed and James who I'd like to
oh
pick
God.
from, and Lucy.
I don't know. James. The people we could cast as James. See, for some reason I'd cast James. I'd cast Jim Carrey as James.
Yes.
I think. Definitely. Who else? I don't know. Yeah. Jim Carrey as James. That would be hilarious. It would be quirky beyond all belief. Yeah. So do I name anyone else?
If you want to, you can.
Yeah, I can't really think of anyone else.
Alex, I'm sure you have a ton.
Okay, I've got quite a few. The answer for Jimmy is easy. It's James May, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, James May.
James May.
Damn, I didn't think
Edgar,
of that.
I can see Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Sherlock. Edgar.
Yeah, I can see that.
For Lucy, there's a very good actress. Well, there's two very good actresses. One was in Party Animals with Matt Smith. She plays one of the trainee MPs, and she's very good, a very nice actress. I don't know her name, sadly, but very nice actress. And there's also Angie Mahindra, who played Rani in Sarah Jane Adventures. She's a very nice actor. I think she.
So we're making Lucy a lot younger than she actually is.
And then
so you're going typical Hollywood route. Lucy's too old at 22. So we'll just get some teenager in to play her.
Oh no, I don't mean it in that sense. For yourself, sir. I was thinking there are two people that could play you, Mac. Alan Davies was one of them.
Yeah.
The other one I was thinking, and I mean this with the greatest respect, 'cause I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but Hugh Grant.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
No, I'm not sure about that either.
Well, he's fairly, he's got that wonderful sort of charm.
Somebody's sucking up for points.
Yeah. Bit of brown nose in there.
Carla.
I was so stuck on this, it was unbelievable. So I kind of tried to make my life a bit easier and thought about TV shows that the whole cast could have some kind of say in. And I sort of went a little bit for the Vicar of Dibley. For some reason, I can imagine Freya and Alice being brilliant. I can imagine you as Hugo. Please don't take offence to that, but I just think, I don't know, I just think that would be brilliant. Fair enough, he's never been on the thing, but Old Man Tom as Jim.
Yes.
Would have been perfect.
I can see that.
No, Jim's too nice.
Or
It's James Owen.
he could be, I can't think of anyone to play David Horton. That's the thing.
Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Sorry, I missed that bit.
But yeah,
Who's the vicar?
someone who basically all the girls desperately love chocolate. It's any of us could be the vicar. I adore it. I have a secret drawer for my chocolate. So yeah, it would be like, well, it's not a secret drawer. It's a drawer on my desk, which underneath the books in it is my chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah, once again, second time we've done that question, nobody's cast Emma. Do you know the closest Emma has been to casting? Do you know what it is? The closest Emma got to being cast, and the last time we did this question, was James McAvoy in a wig. and even worse, James McAvoy in a wig on stilts.
Although I was going to put something out there. There is a website out there where if you put your picture up, it will try and link it to the most famous kind of like lookalike
Oh,
of
really?
you.
Oh.
And I didn't know if during one of the songs you wanted to just give that a go and we could have a brief talk about it afterwards.
See what Emma comes out like.
Because I felt really bad for Emma and I couldn't think of anything for her. It's just she's one of her own.
Question 14. What would you like to see return for one last special?
Oh, I've got to go on.
Alex?
One last special. Okay, I think Alan Partridge, the TV series I'm Alan Partridge, should have one last special just to round off the guy's career, really. I mean, because he's released his book, We Need to Talk About Alan, I Partridge, We Need to Talk About Alan. So I think one last special. I mean, there's talk of a movie, but in case it doesn't happen, which frequently happens, movies or TV shows usually fall through. I like the Doctor Who movie, for example. I don't know if that'll ever come to fruition. So I mean, I think that Alan Partridge should have one last special to round off the guy's career.
Yeah.
I'd definitely like to see that.
Karla?
I want there to be a special of it, but I want it to be with the intention that people remember how brilliant it is and bring it back. Crystal Maze.
Yeah.
It's just, would love for that to be brought back for one special. Everyone make a petition on Facebook and everything to just bring it back, and then they ring up Richard O'Brien to reprise the role.
Callum, what's your super duper?
I don't know if it should be done, but, well, not necessarily a special, but I think brought back in general. Firefly.
Yes!
Yeah.
Good one! So good!
Enough said, really. Firefly should be brought back. The film was brilliant. I love the film, and they should bring back. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks. It should be done. Joss Whedon should get on it and get on it quick. I mean, I think there's a petition on Facebook.
Yeah.
That Nathan Fillion should buy Firefly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that he could kind of
he's
properly
even
do
talked
it.
about it on Twitter.
Should do
if
it.
he could, he would.
Nathan should definitely do that and bring back the whole old cast.
Yeah.
Of course, not all of them, because one of the characters did unfortunately die. No, two of them did in the film.
Yeah, but you could just do the bit between the film.
Yeah,
and
you see. Firefly's my answer to that one.
Okay, time for the scores before I have our penultimate song and 20-second improvisation round. Professional to the end. On 50 points, it's Callum. Also on 50, it's Alex, and narrowly in the lead on 52, it's Karla.
I'm going to lose it. I always lose it in the 20-second bit. Always.
Although, that does mean that you could possibly tie for the lead.
That would be really interesting if all of us.
Has that ever happened before? Is that
Yeah, Karla's tied for the lead.
Mhm.
James has tied for the lead twice. That was Back for Good by Take...
Oops.
Would that be the last song?
Yes.
Ah.
That was Back for Good by Take That. Join us with the scores very, very close as we enter the final round of questions. Karla basically has to do the best answer to win the show
I
outright.
never do well at this round.
Callum and Alex could possibly tie.
Maybe.
Or we could just take a point off you just so that you're not in danger of tying for the lead.
No, don't, please don't.
Karla may win.
20-second improvisation round. As you're in the lead, Karla, you
No.
can decide who wants to go first. Who do you want to pick to go first? Alex?
I'd like Alex to go first,
All right,
please.
Okay. Alex.
Right.
You have to, for 20 seconds, argue, because I'm still thinking it up here.
I love it.
Would you rather I went for Calum?
Callum. I've got Callum's.
Okay, let's go for Calum. Sorry. Sorry.
Callum, you have to argue for 20 seconds that the only reason you finally come on the show now is because those hippie bastards James and Ed aren't on here.
Argue? What am I supposed to argue?
The only reason you've come on the show is because they're not on here.
Because they're not here.
Yeah.
Because you
right.
hate them.
Okay, fair enough.
Go.
Oh, bastards. Oh, for God's sake. They're not here, so I've had to come in and do their stint because they're lazy. That's why. I mean, I like them on everything. They're good chaps. So I'm doing that as the kindness of my own art right now. Right now, I'm doing this because they're being lazy bastards, and I saw that's it. Really, they can say what they like.
Where was that accent from again?
Bruce
I
Forsyth.
don't know, mate.
Ostro.
They can say anything to kind of make me feel better, but I'm just not going to have any of it because now I'm here and I'm having a good time, so they can stuff it for all I care.
Okay, good. Alex.
Okay, the big smoke.
Okay. You have to say that you are not going to be watching The Doctor, the Witch and the Wardrobe this year.
F you! Oh, Miss what? So
because the Narnia film is so much better.
Right, our kind producer has got me to argue that I will not be watching this year's Doctor Who special because the film that is, well, the film of the book it's based off is better, which is probably because the film was on the big screen, thereby allowing more audience immersion and for special effects to suck people in a little bit more. That's probably why I won't be watching, because the Narnia film sucked audience in more because it was on the big screen with the special effects. And plus it was a film, so obviously they had a bigger budget and they could pull... I hate you right now. I feel like I've cheated on my lover. So it's done now. It's done.
Karla.
I'm scared.
Very good chance here, though.
Very good chance to cheat.
What?
You'll like this one.
Oh dear.
He means you won't like this one.
You have to argue that you love your nephew so much you're going to go home right now and make him a niece.
What do you mean make him a niece?
Well, if he's your... is it a cousin then? I don't know. Is it a cousin?
Wait, are you on about I try and persuade Kevin Ange to have another one?
No, you have a baby.
I have to have another baby.
Yeah, you have to have a baby. Another baby?
No, just one baby. Ollie, out there, you don't understand what I'm saying right now. That one day you will, and one day you'll know that what I'm about to do, I did for you. Because I don't want you growing up in the world without a little playmate, someone who you can bully and that you can build your character by, living off them and making them do your dirty work. I'm going to do that for you and make you a little cousin that, that can make you the person that you should be, the man that you will one day become. So I'm making that sacrifice for you by having a very wimpy child.
So that's a sound moral decision then you've taken to make.
Yes. I would love Ollie more than I'll ever love my own children.
Wow.
You can't say better than
wow.
that.
Okay. Final score.
I'm so sorry, my own children.
I like the way you look at the mic, like the mic was Ollie.
I know.
They'll hear this, and the mic isn't even on. It's down there. The recorder's down there.
I know. I'm sorry.
The scores are in.
Blimey.
Interesting.
I'll bet.
Shall I hit the music?
Yeah, go on then. Is that from Fallout?
No.
Oh.
On
Sorry.
51 points, shooting himself spectacularly in the foot by talking all over Karla's 20 seconds. It's Alex. In second place, very impressive, 53, it's Calum. Which means Karla has won her first ever show of 57.
I finally won a show.
Well done, Karla. Well done, Karla. Whoop.
Thank you. I won a show. See, Ollie, that's why I love you. You help me win things.
So that is it for the final 11 o'clock waffle of the year 2011.
Yes.
But we shall be back in 2012 with a bunch of specials and hopefully the return of the Duncan and Mr. Miller.
Yes, let's hope so. Look forward to
Most
that.
definitely.
That would be awesome.
So
Most deaf, innit?
thank you for listening to Series 1
Yay,
of
thank you.
the 11 o'clock waffle.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
listeners.
And the 2 specials we've done so far, the Christmas special and this, the best of the questions. Thanks to my guests today, Alex, Calum and Karla.
It's a pleasure as
Yay.
always.
Oh,
And
yes.
we shall be back in the new year with some new shows.
Indeed.
Woo!
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year! If
Happy
you
New
hear
Year.
this
Happy
before
New
then.
Year.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.
Right.
I want a show!
I'm just going
I'm
to
so happy!
reverse the polarity.